Here, Josh, what's up, bro? Awesome. Mohammed, good morning. Awesome. All right, so first thing we want to do this morning is talk about this Bitcoin trade. So as you can see, we have the 15-minute up and the 1-minute up. This is a D1 entry into an A1 entry. I'm going to explain where I took my entry here, why I took my position, and why I'm managing it the way that I am. So first, you can see on here, excuse me, you can see here on the 15-minute, overnight, this thing shoved lower, kind of like starting the week with bearish sentiment is the way that I would interpret that. Break of the 50 EMA, the break of the 800 EMA, and then the break of the 200 EMA. With the body through the 200 here overnight and the retest to that same price, seeing that it can't get back above that really showed me that we had strong resistance set in here. And the way that I would draw that zone is just like that with this pin right here. That zone to me is like, okay, if we can hold under that zone today, we might see this thing continue to the downside. All I'm trying to do is ride the Bitcoin trend short. I fundamentally think Bitcoin is going to be an amazing technology, of course, but I can still make money trading it short term to the downside and the upside. I'll trade it either direction. You guys know that. It really doesn't matter to me. So we have the resistance set in on top, and then I drew the support here with orange at the bottom, and that's at about 48,500. You can see we held that zone here and here overnight. As we made lower highs and pushed through the zone here this morning, that's now where I think we're going to see some acceleration to the downside. And as you can see, after it broke the zone, it retested it really nicely, and now we're headed for a new low of day potentially in the next 10 minutes if we close with a body like this or lower. So far, it's only pushed 1.3 R. You can see where the stop would go at the top of this formation. It's only moved a little bit over 1 to 1. Ideally, I'm looking for at least 2 to 1 somewhere down here on this trade. And I think it could easily pick up gas and move down to that level because we have so much space to average daily range, which is this green line right here. And that would be 3R, almost 3.5 R. So to me, this had a lot of space to move. There really wasn't much wrong with it. Most of the ASFX members are going to say, hey, the L50 started the day in the buy zone right here and dropped into the sell zone. Wouldn't we want it to be in the sell zone all day? Yes, of course, that would be ideal. But with Bitcoin, with the cryptocurrency, we're going to be a little bit more flexible and try to read price action structure and trend a little bit more, like I said, just being a little bit more flexible than we would if it was a Forex pair. The L50 here could have just pulled up overnight because of the short-term movement over the weekend. And as sentiment really came in strong, why would we want to try to call bottoms here? It wouldn't be smart to be buying it here. It makes a lot more sense to stay short biased. And more important than all that, the L50, the yellow line here, is still in the sell zone more than it's in the buy zone today. It's not like I'm selling something that's up in the buy zone. You know what I mean? So here, you could draw a wedge. I know some people would come in and try to draw like a diagonal line here and all this stuff. I don't do that. I like horizontal levels using the 2-candle rule. The 2-candle rule states that if the 2 candles to the left and the 2 candles to the right of the pin that you're going to use for the support or resistance zone, if they don't breach that pin, that's a valid zone. So here, the 2 candles to the left and the 2 candles to the right do not come lower than this pin with their bodies. So we would use this as the zone. This is the start of that support zone. Same thing here. 2 candles to the right, 2 candles to the left with their body do not break above this pin. So we would say this is the resistance zone. And then, of course, you could come in deeper than that and draw a zone here, right? And now maybe even down here. Potentially forming here. We'll see if it slows down enough. Not ready to draw that yet, though. So that's the idea on the 15-minute. Now, it says here D1 into A1. So if you go to the 1-minute, and I keep this up on the side next to it here, I'm going to slide the 15-minute over like that so you guys can see it like that. On the 1-minute, inside the 3-candle formation, you have bearish divergence. You see how the RSI from its high here is falling to the right here, but price action is going higher. So that's the first sign that this thing might tip over and come lower. Then when it closes with a strong right leg on the 15-minute off the 21 EMA and a valid RSI position, then you have an A1 entry. So you could be looking at this and saying, okay, the bearish divergence here doesn't mean I'm going to take it as a D1 entry and wait for a 50 EMA retest. I'm going to jump in here on the 15-minute because I'm watching both time frames, and I'm going to trade it as an A1 entry. I hope that makes sense. And now with the market sentiment line on the 1-minute still holding the sell zone, that's why I'm still in the trade. And if you read my little note here on the 1-minute, it falls 1.3R. I didn't close any. I just lowered my stop to 49,000. So the stop was a little bit higher here, like 49.1. I dropped the stop now under 49,000. I think my stop is, yeah, about 48.8. So my stop is just about here now. So I'm giving this less risk, but I'm giving it still time to move with my entire position because I don't have a big position on this. As most of you know, I'm still, building my confidence trading Bitcoin. So I'm trading it relatively small compared to what I would do with a Forex pair. But the trend here, the volatility here can really pick up. And that's why I want to stay in this trade. I try to just react. I try to just look at this and say, if it's going to continue to hold the 8 EMA, what do I want to do with it? I want to get 2R and take profit there. I want to get 3R and take profit there. That's what I'm going to do. So my 2R on my original stop loss position, I'm going to mark it for you right here. It's like right there. That's going to be where I start to take more of the trade, take any of the trade. I haven't taken any yet. Make sense? Any questions on that? That's the Bitcoin trade. We'll move into GJ next. Questions, comments, concerns?